Welcome back to the Transfer Show. Now, much has been made of Arsenal's search for a new striker. Mikel Arteta's side, currently out in Singapore, and the Arsenal boss was asked whether a certain Viktor Gyökeres would be joining them.
Well, you know that I'm not going to play against any player that is not with us yet.
Short, sweet, and giving absolutely nothing away, was he? James, where, dare I ask, where we are with this deal?
Honestly, with Arteta in any transfer news, it's like water is wet, Arteta dismisses everything.
Yeah.
It's the same every single time. Nothing changes.
No, I know.
You've got to feel for reporters sometimes when
give
you're
him the
put in
hard
a position.
stare. Sometimes that works for me, if I can just get a little bit more out of him.
But he still doesn't. I will not talk about any players. Look, we will talk about it. And what we do know about Viktor Gyökeres is the player is currently waiting for permission to fly over to Singapore to finalise his move to Arsenal and join Arsenal's pre-season tour. What we also do know is that final details of a deal worth around £63.5 million are being finalised. Arsenal set to pay a fixed fee of £55.1 million. Plus £8.7 million in add-ons. That's been the stumbling block. That's been the part that's taken a little bit of time to be completed. But once the agreement is finalised, the player's expected to fly to Singapore to undergo a medical and finally sign for Arsenal. And that means that no more questions about Arsenal finally signing a striker. It looks set to happen. And, you know, a pretty good striker at that, and Arsenal are hopeful that he could play some part in their pre-season tour over there. They played AC Milan today, beat them 1-0, lost on penalties, had Kai Havertz back as that number 9 forward, but I'm sure they're looking for that real, true, proper number 9. And, well, Viktor Gyökeres scoring 54 goals in 52 games last season for Sporting could well be that player.
And there's another one, Darmesh, that's edging closer to arriving at Arsenal, isn't
Yeah,
it?
Christian Mosquera, he's actually in Singapore. We told you yesterday that he was joining up on Arsenal's pre-season tour. Look, he's understood to have agreed a 5-year deal with a 1-year option. Arsenal will pay Valencia an initial £13 million plus performance-related add-ons. This is now a case of when and not if. We're expecting a formal announcement soon. We even thought it might have come today. It might not come today, but it is going to come very soon. They actually played in a pre-season game today. They beat AC Milan over 90 minutes, and then they lost the penalty.
Yes,
It was all pre-arranged. But they play Newcastle United.
You can tell he wasn't listening to me.
Yeah.
No, I know.
No,
yeah.
it's fine.
Saka with the goal there, wasn't it?
They'll play Newcastle United on Sunday. So whether he'll be available for that or not, we'll soon find out. But Mosquera is very close to happening, and it is some window this for Arsenal. Kepa Arrizabalaga coming in as a number 2, a one-time £70 million goalkeeper. Christian Norgard coming from Brentford. Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad. Noni Madueke as well. And imminently Mosquera and what James mentioned there in Viktor Gyökeres. This is an example of how this new system and new structure is working at Arsenal. Edu has left. Andrea Berta has come in, and Mikel Arteta has spoken so highly of the job that he's done. And it's been a case of Andrea Berta speaking to the clubs and being key in the club-to-club negotiations, while Mikel Arteta is really key when it comes to talking to the player. So this combination has given Arsenal what looks like a really, really impressive transfer window.
It's been like a seamless transition since he's come in, but the Mosquera signing's interesting because he's just 21 years old. Now, Arsenal are set and primed to win now. You can see that by the fact they've signed Zubimendi, the fact they brought in Norgard with the experience, and what looks like Viktor Gyökeres, a 27-year-old. They are ready to win now, but they're also looking at the future. A 21-year-old on a 5-year contract to not only provide competition for William Saliba, Gabriel, but also to be part of the first-team squad for the future is really important for clubs to continue to do in this window. But it's also contracts as well. If you look in the summer, they signed Gabriel to a long-term contract. They locked down Miles Lewis-Skelly to a long-term contract. Ethan Nwaneri, it still hasn't been announced, but it looks set to be announced, a new 5-year contract. So not only is Andrea Berta at the forefront of bringing in transfers, of bringing in players, he's also at the forefront of ensuring that the current crop of players are staying long-term at Arsenal.